continent, our land, and our people. Today the program is tighter than a virgin. Trust me. My brother, my sister, this is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodomo, where we speak truth to power. I want to begin with something quite interesting, my brother, my sister, and I need you to come along with me. To come along with me. To come along with me. My brother, my sister, my very first story is taken from City Newsroom. It's one of the most authentic news outlets we have in this country. And this one, my brother, my sister, was published just on the 24th day of August, 2021. It says, Mahama questions NPP's logic, claiming that he is fueling perception of hardship. Listen, we have dealt with this issue before, but this is another side of it. Mahama questions NPP's logic, claiming that he is fueling perception of hardship. Former President John Dramani Mahama has reiterated his position that the poor management of the country under the leadership of Nana Akufo-Addo has led to unprecedented levels of hardship in the country. Mr. Mahama has slammed the government, in fact, of Nana Akufo-Addo's NPP for suggesting that he is the one fueling a perception of hardship in the country. The NPP's Director of Communication, Boabina Samoa, said at a news conference that the country is in a good state and that President Akufo-Addo is working hard to increase productivity and improve livelihoods. He thus suggested that the former president is poisoning the minds of Ghanaians, that times are hard. We are not frightened of John Mahama. We know he cannot manage the economy, so we can't let him poison your minds, because if you are sitting, you're somewhere, and they keep telling you it is bad, Ghana is hard, there is corruption, Ghana is hard, then sometimes you think it's true. So we have to speak back. You see? You hear the voice of idiots. You hear the voice of brainless people who think that we are fools. My brother, let's break it down. Let's break this thing down. Now, who is speaking? Now, according to this story, it is the NPP's Director of Communication, and his name is Yao Boabeng Asamoah. He says that the country has a very, very good economic standing. Number two, he is saying that the country is not hard. Thirdly, he says they know that Mahama is incompetent and cannot do anything, but implying that we don't know. If they allow Mahama to keep telling us this, we may assume that the country is actually hard, because Mahama is capable of poisoning our minds. Listen to this. I've said it time and again. Today I'm not going to spend time on this. Hear me now. Hey, even a baby knows when times are hard. When a baby starts crying, a good mother understands why the baby is crying. It means times are hard. My brother, my sister, if a baby can tell that times are hard, and the only way the baby can voice it out is to giggle and to cry, how much more a grown-ass man like you and me? And these people have puppeted us in the past, and they keep puppeting us, believing that wherever they say we should jump and fall, we will just obey. My brother, my sister, I am so angry sometimes when these people talk like this. We all live in this country. We know the amount of hardships we see, we get. My brother, my sister, look at the number of ritual murders happening in this country. It has never happened in this country from the time of Okonfo Anoche all the way down through to the time of Ntim Jakari or Sai Tutu. All the way, my brother, from the time of Sumaila Ndeura Jakpa. I have never read anywhere or seen anywhere or heard anywhere that teenagers are now killing other teenagers for ritual murders. In America, we hear how teenagers hold careless guns and end up killing each other. But in Ghana, teenagers go out purposely to kill each other for ritual purposes. Have you ever heard about that? In the past, when we heard about ritual murder, my brother, my sister, it was adults who ended up killing little children in order to use their body parts for rituals to become rich quick. My brother, my sister, we hear these stories in the media, how human body parts are used to make people rich through rituals. We hear that and a lot of us believe that. But in these times, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds are killing their fellow 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds to take body parts to certain juju people so that they can become rich. All in the time of Nana Akufo-Addo. Unprecedentedly, we wake up every day and we hear one policeman has shot himself dead. 2 days back, an army officer, my brother, my sister, at the barracks, hanged himself. Security personnel are killing themselves night and day. Unprecedentedly, my brother, my sister, we have seen some kind of hardship that has never visited us. People are running left, right, and center. These days, you cannot even answer your phone calls because when the calls come in, nobody is telling you that, oh, there's a contract here for you to come and do. No. Everybody is asking for money. Ridiculously, some people are even asking for 5 Ghana cedis, less than $1. These days, when you are in a little employment, it looks like the whole village knows where you are. Every single member of the village will call you to ask you to send home money so they can drink cocoa, true or false. So when people like Asamoah Boabeng, or what's his name? Yao Boabeng Asamoah, come out because they are belly full, I have no respect for these people. Anybody who belittles the minds of the people, anybody who looks down upon my people, I have no respect for such a person. A lot of these guys are nothing but idiots. They are rubber stamps, my brother, my sister, of the leaders, the so-called sleeping presidents. So wherever they tell them to go out there and parrot, they do exactly that, ditto, ditto. Who in this country does not know that we have been bedeviled with so much hardship that right now all the people are running out of this country? Last week there was an announcement, and this is important, listen, that the police is employing people, recruiting people, right? And almost all the youth, some coming from Durigaga, Binduri, Zabregaga, all the way from Pasingpe, they all ran to Accra trying to enlist in the police. I'm going to tell you something interesting. Early this morning I woke up and I saw immigration. Immigration also put out a certain announcement. Producer, if you can find me that announcement, I'll be glad. It's a certain kind of a poster. And they wrote, "We are hiring. We are hiring." And that's immigration. And I'm like, ish, hiring? Hiring. My brother, are they employing or they are hiring? What is the difference? What is their technical term? Is it also recruitment? Or is it hiring? Because the hiring I know is very temporal. When you hire masons to come and work on a project, after the project is done, they are gone, that is hiring. But when you employ people, most of the time, it's supposed to be permanent. The right diction is even missing in some of these adverts. Immigration says we are hiring. Since when has government employment become hiring? Who are you hiring? Masons to come and build immigration offices for 1 day or 2 days and go home? Or you are hiring plumbers to come and build your broken pipes for a day or two? And they put it out. Immigration, we are hiring. But that is not the point. A lot of these angry young men are getting into the police. Some are getting into the army. My brother, they are not getting there because they love the police so much. They are not getting there because they love the army so much. A lot of them are getting in there so they can have an opportunity to vent their spleen on the dirty government. It's a prophecy. A lot of these people, the young men and the young women, are not running to the police. Neither are they running to the army because they love the police and the army, but because they want to have a chance to vent their spleen on the dirty government. I won't go beyond that. It ends there. Ha! Now our leaders are behaving like fools. Hey, look, they do things, you say, hey, we don't want this. We are not happy. We voted you, we don't want this. And they will do more of that. And that reminds me of the Night Champion song. No more. What kind of a country is this? Interior Minister says there and says, if you say the country is hard or the country is not safe, go to other African countries and see. And I sit back and say, Jesus Christ, this is my own uncle. This is my uncle. He says if Ghana is not safe, we should go to other African countries and see. And I say, uncle, I wish you hadn't said this. When you had your independence, where were the other African countries? You have had your independence far longer than a lot of these African countries. In fact, you were the first south of the Sahara to register your independence. Can you measure your developmental levels with those who had their independence after you? Can you? You pick up a country that got its independence several years after you. They are still grappling with issues, a lot of issues, and you compare yourselves with these countries. It means you are mediocre. And the sad thing, my brother, my sister, the country is not hard. Mahama is poisoning the minds of the people that it is hard. Are we fools? So we cannot speak for ourselves? These guys are idiots, brethren. I'm so angry with them. Sometimes I wish I could catch them, open up their heads and put some brains in there. Because it looks like the brains have all been scooped up to pay for political campaigns. So right now they are working with empty shells. How can you tell me that I'm not matured enough, I'm not conscious enough to tell that I am suffering? Surveys are coming out left, right, and center. And everybody saying that the country is hard. Because you are a dirty politician, you come and let us feel like everything is okay. It's just that we like to make noise. My brother, my sister, listen. The Ghanaian salary has now become gas. When you collect it, make sure you hold it like this. When you make a mistake and open your hand, it goes shoo. Gas, oko. True or false? So when I get an announcement that, oh, your salaries are in fact, you know what happens? I let them keep it there. And I start sending people to go and take 1 cedi, 2 cedis. Because when I take it, it becomes gas. And you tell me that the country is okay. My brother, my sister, these guys are insulting us. Do we need Mahama to tell us that we are hot? Do we need Mahama to tell us that the country is hard? Because you guys have all your money, you are blowing left, right, and center on your slave queens and all those dirty prostitutes running after you. You don't care. Right now, the university degree is nothing. Teachers have become nitwits, non-existent. The government has no respect for teachers. Professors have become nothing. In those days when we had professor, oh my God, we doffed our hats and we put feathers, not one feather, in their hats. Today when we hear professor, it's synonymous with poverty. When we hear teacher, oh, how many teachers have gone to marry young girls? And once the families of the young girls realized that they were teachers, they decided to pull back the marriage. They pulled the plug on the marriage. True or false? Let's be real. Imagine you have your very beautiful daughter. You have spent so much money to take her to school, groom her to become so pretty and so wise. 21, 22. She says she's getting married. Who is she getting married to? Teacher. The father might collapse. In fact, when the mother hears teacher, she would collapse and die. True or false? Because we have made teachers non-entities. Professors, my brother, my sister, are nothing as compared to these thieving politicians. That is why you see professor, emeritus, blah, blah, blah. They throw away those certificates and they are on the pulpit preaching and prophesying. A professor who does not even know a single word of the Bible has thrown away all his emeritus. And he will pick the Bible. After all, he's learned. What does he do? In fact, in just 1 week, he can study the whole Bible and go and stand at the pulpit and say, God has called me. God says 1,000 of you are going to give me 2,000 Ghana cedis for a certain blessing that is coming on. Everybody comes because it's professor, emeritus, reverend, something. So he's okay. And people come. One night, the money he gets at the pulpit, he compares it to the 5 years he has worked at the university, and he realizes that a lot of these professors have raised some of these dirty politicians. A student who was in his class that was almost a dunderhead, he knew nothing, but he managed to sail through. The professor did all he could to make sure that no, this guy would have to come out with something tangible. Train this person so well, has been able to manage a pass, comes out of the university. A year later, he is driving a certain car that the professor only saw in an American movie James Bond acted some 20 years back. He looks at him. This dunderhead of a student now looks at the prof. How are you? This is my card. Meet me at my office. Professor goes to the office and what he sees, he's like, what have I done wrong? Teachers are least respected. They have no guns, so they cannot have coup d'etats. Professors are least respected. They have no guns, so they cannot threaten the peace of the country. For that matter, they are quiet. But those who have the guns and the bullets, they are paid over and over so that they will shut up. Let's speak truth to power. Let us speak truth to power. Look at the predicament of farmers. Look at the predicament of nurses and doctors. In this country, they are nothing. No wonder a doctor, medical doctor, has left the hospital and is now education minister. In a country that doctors are just a handful. The few doctors that we have in the hospitals, they are still living and going into politics. Medical doctors. He sits in the office. He's tired of the injections, tired of the prescriptions. Now he wants to make money by lying. If I was the president of this country, no professional would get into politics. None. that you are a doctor, so you want to be minister of what? Stay in the hospital. That you are a teacher, you want to be what? Stay in the classroom. That you are a mason, that you want to be what? No, stay there and build houses. You are a carpenter, you want to be what? Stay there. You are a musician, you want to be what? Be a musician. You know those who would have to be politicians? Those who go to school to study politics. Those who go to school and theirs is that they are going to study governance. Those people, yes, they can come. Other people like that can go into politics. We are tired. Look at Nana Addo's government. Look at Nana Addo's government. A lot of the people are medical officers. They are in there sleeping. They don't know the last time they even wrote a prescription for a headache. A lot of them are teachers. They have abdicated the classrooms and they are in politics. And when they meet their colleague teachers, they laugh at them. Hey, when your salary go come, when is your next, what is that thing called? Aluta. When is your next demonstration? My brother, everybody goes on demonstrations except politicians in power. Have you seen MPs going on demonstration before? In this country? Which country? MPs on demonstration. The only MP I saw demonstrated was Mubarak. Ras Mubarak riding a bicycle, saying that the price of petrol was so high. That was the only one I saw. The rest of them, no. What demonstration? Their salaries are regular. They get it. It's an insult to tell us that we have to wait for Mahama to come and tell us that we are suffering before we know we are suffering. These are the people you voted into power. To God be the glory. My brother, let me leave this. There's another thing I want to tackle. I'm so eager to tackle it, and you all know what it is. But let me tackle this first. This one I'm reading from Peace FM Online, and this was published yesterday, the 31st day of August 2021. And this says, Galamsey fight. I only intervened to save excavators belonging to my party members. And this attributed to John Boedu. Here again. Galamsey fight. I only intervened to save excavators belonging to my party members. Hear this. I read. The ruling New Patriotic Party's chief scribe, when they say scribe, secretary, writer, right? John Boedu says he has on several occasions, listen, on several occasions saved excavators belonging to his party members from being set ablaze by the anti-Galamsey task force. According to him, his duty as the party's general secretary is not to be in the office always, but also to help party members who are in dire need. Yes, I intervened to save some excavators. That is my job. He said in an interview with Neat FM's morning show, Ghana Muntie. I'll leave it here. You heard it. Mr. President came out and told everybody that any excavator that is found on the Galamsey sites should be set ablaze. They should touch all of them. And we cried foul. We said, Mr. President, you want to touch all the excavators. The next day you are gallivanting and globetrotting to China to import excavators to come and dredge gutters, smelly gutters. Why don't you seize these excavators? Register them in the name of the state and use them to do state duties. Mr. President said, no. If you don't understand, go to court. And people started going to court when they started burning the excavators on the Galamsey site. To those of you who are not Ghanaian and might not know what Galamsey is illegal mining. And because of illegal mining, they destroyed a lot of water bodies. Our water, which used to be blue, sky blue, now has become brown like blood. Our water, which used to be sea blue, my brother, my sister, now looks like Fanta. All the fishes have run away to China. All the aquatic animals have run to Togo and other places. Because this country has become hell, not only for human beings, but for animals too. And they have no decency to think that, hey, you are destroying people's lives. Rather, they push party members on the Galamsey side as a remuneration for party foot soldiering during the elections. And when the president said, touch all the excavators, John Boydu said, as an MPP secretary, he left his office and went on the Galamsey side to salvage all those party excavators. And he left other ones which did not belong to his party to be touched, so that the cameras will pick that and say, hey, there's a good job being done. Nepotism, pluralism, isms and schisms, gundaism, goonism, sloganeering, sloganism. This is what is happening. I feel hurt. My brother, he used his position as the ruling party secretary, and he went to meander through the work of the army, twisted their arms and said, don't touch this, don't touch this, don't bend that, don't bend, they belong to our party. Touch the rest. That's what we are reading. True or false? Am I right or wrong? What do you think about this? That John Boydu has the effrontery. You have made them demigods, so they fear nobody. He has gone out, and this is what he's saying, according to Peace FM Online. He went out to salvage the excavators that belong to his party members. The rest are not Ghanaians. They are not human enough. The rest are from Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq. So touch their excavators. But those that belong to our party, don't touch them. Touch not my anointed. And he took their excavators and gave it back to them to go back and kill us with Galamsey. But the other ones, they set those on fire. According to this, you see the people you voted into power, so arrogant. Before they get into power, they are like fish out of water. Found full respect all over the place. Even goats, they greet them. Snakes, they greet. Bears, oh, how are you? Good morning. Found full respect. Found full humility. The moment they get into power, they become Satan, Lucifer in power. This is what they are showing you, brethren. Did I say more? I have nobody to talk for me. For that matter, in Sion Faminko. In Siodi Miko, Mumfre or Domame. In Siodi Miko, me say Mumfre or Domame. Or don't know him. Or do him. And in Siodi Mbeko. To God be the glory. I leave it here. My brother, my sister, we have so many things to look at. Let me look at the key thing now. And this one was published yesterday, the 31st day of August 2021 at 4:19 p.m. And I read, Akufo-Addo hired another jet to UK and Germany, which cost £14,000 per hour. Ablakwa alleges. You all remember the first one? The one that Nitiwul came to say, oh, it was necessary because he had to take a shower whilst in the skies, so that from the sky he would go straight into a meeting, and that it was not big enough to carry all his entourage. And Ghanaians spoke about it. We even invited, listen, we invited the Minister of Defense, Nitiwul, and this was what he said in Parliament. And when we asked him to tell us how much was spent on that trip, he said his ministry doesn't deal with figures. The only ministry that deals with figures is the finance ministry. So finance minister was invited to the parliament, and he insulted Ghanaians by telling us that, oh, yes, I deal with figures, but this one hinges on state security. Please, can you deal with the Minister of National Security? So the first minister says, I'm not in charge. This is the one in charge. Now the one in charge comes to say, I am not in charge. Deal with the Minister of National Security. And before that, Minister of National Security Kandapa had already been caught in front of a prostitute's camera, betraying his wife and family and children, modeling, because he had been promised sex. So he was modeling to show his skills, bedmatics. To God be the glory. Nothing happened. Minister of National Security did not know he was being recorded by a cheap whore. A whore was recording him. National Security. And brethren, if he had done this on his normal vacation, who cares? Who cares? You can sleep with 1 billion prostitutes, I don't care. It's your life. But he was on national state assignment. According to what we read, he went modeling in front of a horse camera. They did nothing about it. They say best of the same feathers flock together. For all you know, that's what the president does too. That's if he still has libido. Because at 77, I wonder. Anyway, Kandapa is around that age and he still has it. So maybe Viagra is swimming around them. These old men, they all use Viagra. A lot of them use Viagra. Viagra. Viagra swallowing old men in power. Oversized suit wearing president and his goons. My brother, my sister, nothing happened. So we should bring this same man who does not know the difference between Facebook and Twitter as our national security expert boss to come and tell us what? That the president spent 2 Ghana cedis flying. Now president has done it again. According to Ablakwa, 14,000 pounds an hour. And when you read, I don't want to read it. So nasty. And when you look at the kind of plane he went for, one of the top-notch planes. A big sleeping room for his sleepiness. Mr. Sleepydent, Nana Akufo-Addo, sleeps unprovoked. He goes into a meeting. The first 1 minute, he salutes people and goes to sleep. The meeting lasts 5 hours. He's sleeping through that and snoring. The last minute, he's only waking up when people are clapping. Then he wakes up to join in the clapping. He doesn't even know why they are clapping. After that, they push a paper in front of him and he signs and laughs. Not knowing what he signed. After all, he slept throughout the meeting. These are the people we voted into power. I hate these people, you know. Hate them. Because of the way they are treating Ghanaians. Because of the way, my brother, my sister, they are dealing with the legacy of our ancestors. They don't care about who is eating what and who is dying. All they are interested in is a cathedral they promised God that they are forcing all of us to pay for. Cathedral. Religion drunk people in this country would all say, hey, it's okay. You know, when we build a cathedral, manna will fall from heaven. Then they'll go to the cathedral and they are blowing tongues. Ba 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 bankum bankum ba 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 dokono dokono ba 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 ba. Night and day, my brother, my sister, when they could have built a factory. Hallelujah. What a people. You are gathering money to build a cathedral. So people will go into the cathedral and pray for factories to be built so they can be employed. Menisanene. Menimba. Maba. You are building building a cathedral. Huh? And yesterday I was, in fact, listening to Zakir Naik. He is a Muslim scholar, known all over the world, that I admire a lot. He said, it is haram. You know when Muslims say haram, it means what? It is wrong. It is haram for any Muslim to contribute towards the building of a church. Listen, oh. Zakir Naik says, according to Islam, it is haram, forbidden for any Muslim to contribute towards the building of a church. And I'm laughing. I'm like, oh, Zakir Naik. Is that it? When the Prophet of Islam was running away from persecution in Mecca, he ran all the way to Abyssinia, today called Ethiopia, to a church. Nagus at that time was a Christian, and in his house was a huge church. Even though later Nagus himself became a Christian, the Prophet ran to Nagus in the church. That's number one. Number two, Zakir Naik says it is forbidden in Islam for any Muslim to contribute towards the building of a church. And I'm asking, is it okay for Christians to contribute in order to build a mosque? That's my question. Is it okay for Christians to contribute towards the building of a church? Of course. You say, yeah, of course. Ya Allah. Ya Allah, subhanallah. Allah Akbar. Yes, bring it. If you bring it, Allah will bless you. Wallahi, Allah will bless you. Wallahi, Allah, inshallah. Kao kudiya gina masallaki, inshallah. The other way around is good, but not the other side. No. My brother, the point I'm trying to make is simple. It's not about building churches, and it's not about building a mosque. It's about building a cathedral at a time that there is no need for it. I said it before. Even the mosque that they built, there was no need to build that mosque. That huge mosque in Nima. What's the need? Do you know how many Nima people are dying? They go to hospitals and queue night and day. They are the same people who are sleeping on the floor, dying night and day. Then you go and build a huge mosque. The other day somebody said, oh, but there's a clinic in the mosque. Clinic. It takes how many people? Clinic in the mosque. Why don't you dedicate the whole mosque to a hospital or a school and name it after the Prophet? You see, we are speaking common sense and we want people to come along. Religion is good, but religion is not as important as spirituality. Because religion is a means to an end, which is spirituality. This is too deep for some people to understand. But that's how it is. You build a huge mosque inside Nima by a gutter that is hardly cleaned. Huge mosque. And I'm saying, that mosque, could you have dedicated it to a hospital and see how it will help with the health of the people of the area? Even it would have become a great achievement for Islam, more than the mosque they built there. By now somebody's angry. Wallahi, what Blakk Rasta, wallahi jannama shege dan urunwa barao. But when they sit back and they disabuse their minds, diffuse the tantrums in their brains, and look at this, they'll realize that yes, we have so many mosques in Nima that you go and build the headquarters of all mosques there in Nima. Is it a competition to the cathedral, or the cathedral is a competition to this? Let's check it out. Nana Akufo-Addo has done it again. He doesn't respect Ghanaians. We shouldn't respect him too. Sometimes I wish there was a button that I could press and he would remove him, evict him from the presidency. I wish there was a button that I will press, one press, pa, and he's out, impeached. I'll press it 1 million times. Papa, I need it only once, but I will press it 1 million times because he doesn't respect the Ghanaian. You did it. We cried foul. You still jumped into the plane, paid so much money. And when we have a national carrier, he said it's too small for him. You want to carry your family and friends and carry all your goons, carry all your slave queens and take them there. Why are you doing this to us? Why are they doing this to us? My brother, my sister, I want to appreciate you. I want to thank you. I appreciate you. I thank you. I love you. Now I'm going to look at this too. And this is about Hammer. I won't go too much into the details. I'm just going to leave it here. But Hammer says, nurses were asleep while I experienced panic attack at COVID-19 treatment center. Ghanaian music producer Edward Nana Poku Osei, popularly called Hammer, has been recounting his ordeal when he tested positive for the novel coronavirus. He described his COVID-19 period as being through hell and back. Narrating his situation in a video, Hammer said he had unbearable panic attacks at 1 a.m. where the nurses in the hospital were asleep. And he was not able to reach out to them because a bell which he was supposed to ring was not working. I'll leave it here. My brother, in this country, they pretend to pay us and we pretend to work. Oh, Jesus. What a country. Oh, what a country. I hate it when I have to draw conclusions like this. I go to America. I go to England. I go to Germany and there's a football match. The police would stand facing the audience for the whole period of the match. No water. If they need water, it's in their pocket. They watch the audience. It doesn't matter who is scoring the goal. It doesn't matter how much furore of excitement is happening in the stadium. Their eyes are fixated at the crowd. Goal! Goal! They are still standing like statues, watching. You know why? Because their duty, their responsibility is to protect the people. They are not there for entertainment. So when it's time for them to have their vacation, they have a package which is enviable, not us. I remember there was an AFCON something event here in Ghana, African Cup of Nations. And Ghanaian police also decided to copy what the Germans and the Americans normally do. I was excited. My brother, Ghana was playing that day. And police was watching the audience standing straight like that, like statues. I said, wow, this country is great. The moment they had goal, all of them turned to look at who scored. And I saw two policemen who even shot a shit and now turned to look at the audience again. Why? Why? Did you come to watch football? Or you came there to protect people? You will turn goal and then you shit, you should have kicked it like this. Then when there is a fight, then you start throwing tear gas, killing people's children because you don't understand what took place. Professionalism is our biggest problem in these cycles. You go to the government institutions and workers who are paid with our tax behave as if they are doing us a favor. Jesus have mercy. You go to the hospital and the way nurses talk to patients is crazy. I've talked about this time and again. Guyana, South America, just here. I went to Guyana. A female doctor, I've told this story time and again. They were taking me to Aurora in Guyana. It's a gold mining area to do a performance. Helicopter had to take me all the way to that place. But they had to check because it's a malaria-free area. They had to check and see if you had malaria or not. They had to draw my blood and check it out. But whilst the doctor was talking to me, have you had malaria before? I said, come again? Have you had malaria? I said, yes. He said, like how many times? Once, twice, thrice. I said, more than 1 million times, if I'm not mistaken. He said, what? She called other doctors to come and see the man who said he has had malaria for over 1 million. I said, yes. In Ghana, malaria is like drinking water. And that is the truth. 99% of all the sicknesses in Ghana have malaria. True or false? Mosquitoes are our best friends. Mosquitoes are our best bedmates. Now they asked again, what kind of malaria have you been having? I said, malaria, is it in types? I thought malaria was malaria. Now they started laughing at me. The way they talked, the way we went about it, beautiful. Guyana, this is not Germany, this is not America. Spoke nicely, not here. Imagine this was a Ghanaian doctor. Of course, not all Ghanaian doctors. What would he have said? Telling him you have had malaria for 1 million, get out of my office. You think we are here to joke? Get out! A lie? Look how many times patients have been killed, all because of negligence. You are paid to take care of patients. You are there snoring. Why wouldn't they snore when the president himself wants a big bedroom on the flight in the skies? Your president sleeps unprovoked. And when we say it, they get so hurt. And the more they get hurt, the more I say it because it's the truth. My father told me, my son, listen, if it is the truth, say it without turning back. But if you know you are lying, you will live to regret it. And that's the truth. That's why when I walk, I don't look back. It's your problem if you are trailing me. It's your problem. I speak the truth, and Ghanaians know I speak the truth. Your president is the king of sleeping. His title is His Sleepiness, Mr. Sleepydent. Why would nurses sleep? Teachers are even in the classroom sleeping. There are some schools, the students or the pupils know that, hey, this teacher has a sleeping tablet, permanent sleeping tablet. So the moment the teacher comes to class, they know the teacher is going to sleep. After saying, class, stand, they stand. Greet, good morning, teacher. Good morning, friends. Sit. They sit, and she's also asleep. Fast asleep. Then they have a field day. Like Nanado's ministers have a field day of corruption. Wanton looting, pilfering of the Ghanaian tax coffers. Jesus have mercy. The teacher sleeps, and the children are jumping on the tables. The teacher will never wake up until they hear the bell, clang, clang, clang. Assembly, please. And say, stand up, march out. We are marching from our classes. We are marching from our classes, and no more to return, and no more to return. Again, we are marching from our classes. We are marching from our classes. We are marching from our classes, and no more to return, and no more to return. Jesus have mercy. What a thing. So Hammer has experienced it. The sleeping sickness that Nanado has brought into this country is so suffusious. Find out what that word means. So suffusious. And I cried to Brofo. Shagging Bazaar. And I didn't do Renki. My brother, my sister, we are effed. To God be the glory. 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 Multimedia is taking Kennedy Japan to court. You know about that, right? And there's a professor here who says that crimes in Ghana would increase. Hallelujah. Jesus have mercy. Maybe the professor is wrong. The cathedral will help. When the cathedral is built, God will descend and come and live there. And where God lives, there's no crime. In heaven, there is no crime. And that is why we all want to go to heaven. In heaven, there is no crime. And that is why we all want to go to heaven. My brother, my sister, this one was published today. Yes, the first day of September 2021. And it says, Kennedy Japan is going to be sued. Multimedia group to sue Kennedy Japan and others today. Let me see if my name is included. The multimedia group has threatened that it will file a suit at the Asin Central Member of Parliament. Well, grammatical jonkulization. Yeah. This is graphic. Graphic, be serious. What kind of grammar is this? Listen to the grammar. The multimedia group has threatened that it will file a suit at the Asin Central Member of Parliament. Why jonkulize? Okay, but we all understand what that means, right? They're going to file a suit against Asin Central Member of Parliament, Kennedy Japan, his media organization, and 3 of his employees for allegedly making false and defamatory comments against the media group. In a statement issued by the multimedia group on Wednesday, that's today, the 1st of September 2021, it said, in the month of July 2021, that's the 2nd, the 9th, and the 19th, the member for Asin Central Constituency, Kennedy Japan, made and repeated false and defamatory statements on his media platforms, spurning caution issued by our lawyers on the 13th July 2021. Well, that's it. So Kennedy Japan is going to be taking, you all remember how he said that they came there to take bribe from money, and how they are no more, blah, 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 boom, 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 boom. But some of this is when I see them, I don't really get moved. You know why? You know why? How many times has Kennedy Japan not been sued? Kweku Baako took him to court. They went there. He was found guilty of what? He went to court again. And then it's going on. Anas has taken Kennedy Japan to court. They went to court in front of the judge. He insulted Anas's lawyer that you are a fool. And all the judge could do was to withdraw that. That's all he said. Withdraw that. You can't use the word fool in front of me. Have you been an MP before? Have you campaigned before? You are a fool in court. Say, withdraw. Okay, I withdraw. You know, in court. My brother, he's been taken to the privileges committee. Ankosiaga. The powerful are untouched. Touch not my anointed. When the Bible said, touch not my anointed, these are the anointed. To God be the glory. So when I look at this, until the end of it, I don't want to make a judgment. To God be the glory. May they go to court, and may the country be the winner. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Now the last one, and this one is going to take me just 1 minute and I'm done. It says, Ghana will witness more crimes. And this is from Professor Kwesi Enin. Who is he? The director of the Faculty of Academic Affairs and Research, Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center. Professor Kwesi Enin is predicting that Ghana will continue to witness an increase in crimes. His claim is based on the premise that crime is fast becoming a profitable venture in the country, hence leading to an increase in crimes being witnessed across the country. Hallelujah. I'll leave it there. Do you understand that? The good old professor whose salary has not been increased and has returned from a strike, probably, has spoken the gospel, the mind of God. This is a prophecy. This is a prophecy. He says crime has become so profitable. When the special prosecutor came into power, what did he say? We would make crime unattractive and unprofitable. But Professor says, according to the Faculty of Academic Affairs and Research, Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center, our sleeping Dent, his sleepiness, Mr. Sleepy Dent, has lost the battle. He says crime is so profitable. There's no punishment for crime. That's what we're just talking about. People steal wantonly. People pilfer the coffers randomly, wantonly, with so much disregard for our laws. And what happens? Shiara. When the police start to make noise, they say, Shiara Nikitunium. They are too powerful. Imagine John Boydu saying he went to the Galamsey site to salvage excavators that the president ordered to be touched. You, a corporal, police corporal or army corporal, you go to him and say, oh, Mr. President says, oh, okay, Shiara Nikitunium. Wada. Mr. President, Ossiden, Onyaden, on touch, on ben, W, Shiara Nikitunium. Wada. President Wahin, oh, mother, oh, mother, oh, mother. To God be the glory. My name, Blakk Rasta.